I'm Victoria Tucker. I'm Alex Egan.
I'm Peyton West.
I'm Kaylee Tompkins.
I'm Emily Taylor.
I'm Mackenzie Smith, and we are Plus One.
Over the past 4 months, Plus One conducted both primary and secondary research for Black and Hooded in order to better understand the public's perceptions and knowledge about the organization and their mission. Plus One used both qualitative and quantitative research to better understand the public's behaviors and attitudes towards Black and Hooded and the actions they are taking to aid Black graduate students.
We use both qualitative and quantitative methods to understand public perceptions and improve Black and Hooded's organization. 2 goals researchers set out to achieve for Black and Hooded was first, assist Black and Hooded in their public relations efforts and gain knowledge from their publics in order to effectively reach their target audience. And second, provide information from both qualitative and quantitative research to Black and Hooded to improve their social media platforms, increase donations, and gain more awareness. With this research, Black and Hooded can now have a better understanding of their target audience, donations, and how to better use each social media channel. Black and Hooded was founded in 2017 by Anthony Wright and Brian Allen in hopes that other Black graduate students could celebrate with them in their success and generate awareness of Black students graduating from master's and doctoral programs. Black and Hooded does not limit their scholarships to students in a certain field of study. Black and Hooded scholarships are solely donations based. Over the past 2 years, there have been 8 scholarships given to Black students going to graduate school. Black and Hooded has created a database for current undergraduate and graduate students. This database has a list of almost 400 names and contact information to connect Black students with those who have already graduated and are in their field of study.
Area is the organization funding. Black and Hooded is not considered a nonprofit organization because it is yet to obtain their 501c3. The only official means for acquiring money are the donations and the merchandise sales. By becoming a nonprofit, Black and Hooded will have an increased eligibility for public and private grants. Black and Hooded will also receive more recognition from donors, increasing the donation amounts and growing the organization. Once this situation is resolved, Black and Hooded will have the opportunity to communicate to nonprofit status to others, securing the future of a successful nonprofit organization. With the funding that their 501c3 will bring in, Black and Hooded will also have a larger opportunity for growth. Black and Hooded relies on the public's awareness to instigate growth. Plus One researchers found that awareness was a large problem area within the organization. Black and Hooded began as a social media movement and is present on platforms such as Twitter and Instagram and their website. Researchers believe that Black and Hooded is in a great position to grow from here, expanding to other social media platforms. Black and Hooded is not present on Facebook or Snapchat, which we found to be key channels for reaching the undergraduate students over the age of 21. Because of the lack of presence on these platforms, the population of possible scholarship recipients are likely to apply for the scholarship is smaller than desired. Finally, Black and Hooded has a very unclear vision for their organization. Studies show that undergraduate students of color are more influenced to apply for graduate school when a mentor persuades them to. This is one characteristic that Black and Hooded has that many students are unaware of. Black and Hooded's publics are unaware of the organization's mission to not only offer scholarships but also provide a network for students of color. If the public better understood Black and Hooded's vision, they should expect to see an increase in not only the public's but an increase in the network that they are trying to build.
The first method of primary research that we conducted was the interview. The population Plus One chose to conduct in-depth interviews with were Black students who attended graduate school or are planning to do so after they complete their undergraduate degree. Plus One chose this population because Black and Hooded offers services that are beneficial to this population, and their biggest clientele consists of Black graduate and undergraduate students. These undergraduate and graduate students came from many different backgrounds, socially and financially. Research conducted in-person interviews that follow the structure of the formal interview guide created prior to the interviews. The questions Plus One addressed were first, the different interviewees' demographics and characteristics. Questions also addressed what students knew about Black and Hooded as an organization and how they perceived this hashtag. Researchers also asked questions to learn more about these demographics, media behaviors, and perceptions toward Black and Hooded. The questions were open-ended and participants could insert their full thoughts about Black and Hooded contributions to the researchers' knowledge about these topics and particular demographics. The study population of interest that Plus One chose to conduct this focus group were 9 participants who could be potential donors to Black and Hooded. The research questions driving the intent of this focus group was, What attributes and organizational messages increase or decrease a person's likelihood to donate to a charitable cause? The research conducted during the focus group revealed that most information missing in the previous individual research and +1 felt uncovered any public research missing that could be gathered through interviews. Messages +1 tested for were Black and Hooded ones taken from organizations' Twitter and Instagram pages. These included diversity of message and contents, message appearances, and message length.
An anonymous survey was designed to determine the public's knowledge of Black and Hooded, the public's behavior towards nonprofit organizations and Black and Hooded, public social media behaviors and their attitudes towards both Black and Hooded and nonprofit organizations. This research method allowed researchers to determine the general public's awareness of Black and Hooded, as well as people's behaviors toward donating to other nonprofit organizations. This method also gave researchers an idea of how many hours people spend on social media platforms used by Black and Hooded, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as how long people spend on Facebook, a platform currently not in use of Black and Hooded. The information gathered from the research team's survey was designed to provide Black and Hooded with strategies to enhance communication capabilities on social media and informing Black and Hooded of public opinion and behavior for nonprofit organizations. This survey was conducted through snowball sampling, meaning researchers could not target a specific audience when sending it out. Content analysis of Black and Hooded's Twitter and Instagram account contents was designed to find ways to improve social media usage through analyzing social media posts dating from May 2018 to November 2018. The purpose of this method was to analyze the range of information and public interaction between the two accounts, such as whether certain aspects were present for each post and how this affected public engagement. Researchers were able to determine what content worked best for both Twitter and Instagram based upon how much public engagement was received per post, as well as what content was ineffective and negatively impact public engagement and interest with Black and Hooded social media.
+1 has done extensive research about Black and Hooded and its key publics. It was concluded that there is little public knowledge about Black and Hooded. The following information was found from an online survey taken by individuals who are age 18 and older. 26% of people knew how many scholarships Black and Hooded awarded. 43% of people knew who the scholarships are provided for. 48% of people knew Black and Hooded's purpose. 80% of people knew the qualifying majors for the scholarship. 48% of people knew what other organizations offer the same scholarship. 17% of people knew how much money the scholarships awarded were. 74% of people knew how many scholarships Black and Hooded awarded, and 57% of people knew Black and Hooded's other services they provide. Overall, the perceptions and attitudes of the general public toward Black and Hooded are positive. The positivity rate of Black and Hooded exceeded 50% in the following categories: trust, control mutuality, commitment, satisfaction, reliability, and exchange relationship. Our results showed that majority of this positivity came from the female gender. Results also showed that most of this positivity came from the Black race. How Publix interacted with nonprofits and Black and Hooded was discovered through researchers' use of interviews, focus groups, and surveys. The +1 researchers gathered valuable data on the public's desired behavior results through quantitative and qualitative data. We discovered that overall, less than half of the participants were willing to volunteer for any nonprofit at all. Only 27% said that they were willing to volunteer. Only 10% said that they were extremely likely to be loyal to a single charitable cause. Only 3% said that they would be extremely likely to donate money, and only 3% said that they would be extremely likely to donate to Black and Hooded over another scholarship program. Next, only 4% said that they would be extremely likely to volunteer for Black and Hooded, and 12% said that they would be extremely likely to learn more. Finally, only 1% said that they would be extremely likely to purchase Black and Hooded merchandise.
Sorry. That's where you are, right, in this
Yeah.
study?
In this study, the hypothesis states that posts are likely to get higher engagement if they contain an image or graphic visual elements. 34% of all posts on Twitter included graphics, and 66% of posts on Instagram included graphics. Concerning images, 35% of tweets used images, and 65% of Instagram posts used images. This is a significant difference because Instagram uses almost double the graphics that Twitter. Similarly, images are included in posts on Instagram 35% of the time and on Twitter 65% of the time. Again, this result is significant because researchers see that Black and Hooded uses Twitter significantly more than Instagram for graphics and image-related content.
To review, Plus One conducted research for the client Black and Hooded to assist Black and Hooded in their public relations efforts and gain knowledge from the public in order to effectively reach their target audience. To do this, Plus One identified Black and Hooded's key publics and audiences. The research teams operated on a general question: who are Black and Hooded's key publics, and what are their behaviors, attitudes, and knowledge towards Black and Hooded? As researchers, we conducted qualitative and quantitative research to promote awareness of Black and Hooded. To do this, Plus One collected secondary information about the nonprofit, conducted interviews, focus groups, a survey, and a content analysis. The content analysis helped Plus One to gain insight on different content areas such as graphics, questions and captions and tweets, merchandise information, and photos and images. Plus One conducted the content analysis on Black and Hooded's Twitter and Instagram profiles. Each form of research helped Plus One to gain a new understanding of the knowledge, attitudes, and behaviors of Black and Hooded's key public. In its findings, Plus One found that the full potential of Black and Hooded is not being met in either its social media usage or outreach to key publics. Plus One found that Black and Hooded does not have a large following on Twitter. Researchers also gathered that Black and Hooded needs stronger social media marketing skills. More information about merchandise, donations, and scholarship applications should be included in their tweets. Each type of content provides a different experience for the audience based on platform use, and these findings, key publics, and knowledge helps to achieve their research goals of assisting Black and Hooded in their public relation efforts and gain knowledge from their publics in order to effectively reach their target audience.
So, what can Black and Hooded do to improve? Plus One suggests that Black and Hooded post to social media more often than they do currently. It would also benefit Black and Hooded to have a creative professional to control their current social media pages, as well as create a Facebook page and a Snapchat account for the organization. Plus One believes that having a Facebook page and Snapchat account would benefit the organization because it is the most used social media of one of their key publics. This creative professional would be able to improve the picture quality of their posts and the spelling and grammar. These were the two largest complaints about their social media pages made by focus group participants.